Hey, the secret to getting booked more isn't writing a brand new speech every time. It's making the audience feel like your keynote was genuinely made just for them. Now, a lot of people they believe that I got to make a keynote every single time I go out there. I'm truthfully, it's not the case. Like your keynote should not have a feeling that goes like, man, this keynote was made specifically out of the blue for them. Because you'd be surprised. Most people that are like meeting planners and bookers and bureau people, they don't need a brand new keynote. They don't need a customized from scratch keynote. They're looking for something that's tailored. Like, think about that. If you think about a suit, I'm gonna go buy a suit. I don't always go to a place expecting to have a brand new suit made from brand new material, shipped out of Italy with everything done from scratch. Now, you can do that. And yes, that's a very, very high quality thing. But we're talking about at a high level, you might consider that if you're getting paid 60, 70, $100,000 per keynote. But I know people that get paid 100, 150,000 per keynote and they do a tailor, right? Because you can still get a suit that has got the amazing material, still from Italy, still looks great, all the great stuff, right? And they tailor it to fit you. They get the measurements right. They understand what, how it fits, how you want to have it fit, where it should be long and short and all these different things, right? And they tailor it and it's still a very expensive suit. See, the idea is you want to make sure you have something that goes out into the world and it's tailored to fit the audience. If you do that properly, it's going to be great. So you got to make sure you pay attention to that. Now, this is why a lot of speakers, they burn out when it comes to creating a keynote because they fall into this trap of rewriting their talk for every single gig. And then here's the thing that most people don't understand is an issue with doing that. Now, yes, at the end of the day, you want to spend time writing a keynote, but let's just say, for example, you get a new booking. Someone comes up to you, goes, "Hey, so and so, I love that you're now going to speak for us. You're all set. We need that keynote to be, created in the next, 3 weeks for the keynote or for the speech takes place. Or let's say it's a month. Okay, great. I'll get it for you. Now, what do you do as a speaker? Well, now you have to spend time getting questions answered by them to figure out what they're looking for. You got to analyze the individual that you're going to be serving, the audience themselves. Maybe go do some deep dives, visit some of the locations if it's going to be a corporate space. And to get that, you got to come back to the drawing board. You got to go, okay, great. I got to get this done and this done. This I got to think about this opening and this closing and this change and this story. And you're doing all this stuff, right? And then if week one goes by and you're still dialing it in, then maybe week two goes by and you've got some stuff written out and you're picking stories, what are the right stories, like all this stuff goes on. And then week four happens and we get to the keynote. And I'm gonna be honest, like you do a good job. You kill it, right? No problem. But here's the issue. Yeah, you got it done, did a good job. But you get off the stage, shake their hands, they give you a paycheck, and then you turn around and look at the rest of your calendar and you're unemployed. Because in 4 weeks, the only thing you focused on was writing a brand new keynote. You didn't work on the marketing, the outreach, the follow up, the lead generation, your social media, the DM conversations, making content, posting things, long form content places to get your message across. You didn't do everything you needed to do. So now you're in this frantic spin up. And then you're kind of like, I've got anxiety of doing all these little things I got to do to catch up to get the next booking in. But I did that one, but now I'm trying to find a way to pay the bills. And you get this anxiety builds, right? And the thing is, realistically, you could have avoided all of that if you had a structured keynote you just change a couple pieces of. And really, if we're being truthful, meeting planners, they don't need a whole new keynote. They need something that's been tailored, like I mentioned. They need to know that the keynote you have is foundational, it's sound, it's deliverable, it's got all the great pieces already worked into it. You're just making some adjustments and changes. Now, if you've watched other videos, I've talked about the 80-20 keynote method. This is where you have this ability to tailor things properly. See, the material of the actual suit, the inside, the outside, the pockets, the type of collar you have, all these little pieces, that should essentially be the 80% of the keynote. That should be a structure piece, a sound piece. It should be beautifully done and to where now this thing is great. And now what I'm doing is going, hey, I got this amazing suit. Let me just tailor it for you. Let me see how big the neck is and where the waist fits and the shoulder cut. Let me go and make sure it's the right length for the wrist and get the hem proper at the ankle so it doesn't go too high or too low. Let's get that done for you. Same foundation, but you're making an adjustment to make sure the suit fits properly. I get that it sounds simple and you may think like it's too simple. It's not. It does take time to get this thing right. It's a signature foundational talk you'll give, but your job should be in those 4 weeks to not just be serving that group, but also getting in position to serve more groups. I'm telling you the truth. When I create a keynote, my suit making process is so dialed in now where the foundation's there. That 20% I'm talking about, I'm not exaggerating, takes me no more than 20 minutes to write a new keynote. For events that I speak at, that are the Amazons, the T-Mobiles, the Chick-fil-A's, the Googles, the Best Buys, the Dollar Generals, where they're paying me $25,000 plus to be there. It takes me 20 minutes to write the keynote. But one time it took me about 10 hours. See what I'm saying? One time, years ago, like it took 10 hours to structure this thing and get it right and figure out what it is. And I had to deliver it a few times to get it even better and tightened up. But then now, 20 minutes. Whereas some people, every keynote, because you're making a new one, is over and over again, 10 hours and 10 hours and more than 10 hours sometimes. What does that do for you? It actually creates anxiety to get more bookings. Because your thought is, if I get more bookings, I have more work. You don't want more work like that. You want to do the job you want to do, which is speak on stage. So your job should be focused on, how do I step back and go, man, I want to deliver at a high level, make a high level keynote. That's a foundation. It's phenomenal. And then just change a couple pieces of it as you build in. Now, this method, if you do it right, it's going to help you stay consistent and confident on stage also, because now you're going up there with a suit that you know somebody already likes because they've been buying this suit. He's been tailoring it. People are coming in out. I love the way that one looks. Good. I got a whole bunch more, right? I can't wait to deliver it to you. So you're confident giving your speech and talking about stuff because you've done it before, but not the exact same. It saves you, honestly, hours of prep time also. So you could have one pre-event discovery call, ask the right questions. It's a different conversation for a different time, but you ask the right questions, you will get the right answers. And those right answers will help you make the perfect keynote that'll have 80% the same, 20% different, but feel like a 100% customized speech for the audience you're talking to. And that's your goal, to have them feel like you're talking to them. It also makes your message feel fresh and relevant every single time you deliver it. So even if you have given this talk 100 times before, it doesn't feel like it this time. It doesn't feel like it anytime. I actually, if you go and look at a lot of my speeches, they are, for the most part, the same, like very similar across the board. But you'll always notice 20% changes. Even if I'm giving the exact same story, I can tell my stories about the NFL and when I was going in and when I got cut and almost didn't make it and got a job I didn't expect to get in a situation I probably shouldn't have got it in. But I get signed as a Pittsburgh Steeler. If you watch the last 100 times I've delivered it, I've given it over 100 times, you will never see it delivered the same. Not once is it the exact same. Not once. Not even the same order of words, the same pacing, or even some of the same segments of the story. Why? Because that's an 80% story. That is a 20% change to it. And I know what the 20% should be because I've had the conversation in advance. And this makes you an in-demand speaker, because the other part of that is meeting planners love speakers who deliver a speech and the audience and the client that booked you go, that was amazing. Great. You're now a safe bet. They can put you in front of their brand, market you as a speaker that should get booked. And now you get the bookings because they love you, because you know what you're doing professionally. And the client, the audience loved you. Now, how did it happen? Because you've given that speech a lot of times and it feels so fluid, so connective. You're not even in your head anymore. You're in your heart. Because when you're trying to memorize and pay attention to a speech you just made, you're up here. So you're not connected here with the audience. They need your heart. And if you're here too much, you don't get here, you don't connect there. So go out of here, because this is almost autopilot to an extent. And then your heart opens up. You can talk and share and banter, go back and forth. But now you're in a position to teach and talk and share in a way that they're open to receiving. And that's what people love. That's why you do a great job on stage. That's why speakers get booked and booked over and over, because every time they go up, they deliver at a super high level. Now, this 80 method or 80-20 method, it makes your talk repeatable and bookable, which is the most winning combo ever, right? That's the big thing. And then the more gigs you do, the sharper and more reliable your talk becomes. The takeaways, they happen. Action steps, they happen. The feedback, it happens. The reach outs afterwards, it happens. And it happens reliably because you've built it. Like I can almost guarantee, if you were to give me money and bet, like, can you get a standing ovation? Bet I'm gonna get that. Why? Because I know how to plan the structure of my keynote to every time it crescendos the right way. Because again, I've given it 100 times, but never the exact same. So I'm telling you, if you want to speak more, prep less, and make every audience feel like your message was made for them, an 80-20 keto is the game changer if you do it right. The best part is I'm breaking it all down live in trainings that I do. So if you ever want to have information about this, I want you to head to speaktofreedom.com. You'll see where we're doing live master classes. And these classes, usually it's either a master class or it's a live virtual event where I'm breaking this all down. Like way more than this. This is one nugget of a humongous, it's like one star in the universe. We'll call it that. There's a whole lot that goes into this, but it's not a whole lot. Once you do it one time, Never got to do it again. So if you want help with this, head to speaktofreedom.com. You get all the details. I'll show you how we do this. And I can't wait to serve you if that's what's on your heart. If not, tune in to the next video. I'm going to keep doing these free ways and free videos to give you the insights because, yes, there are a select group of people, like a small group I found, that you can take what I'm talking about and you can rip and run and kill it. For the rest of us, myself included, I actually like to have the shortcut. I want to find people that do this, have it codified and a process to teach me, and I want to go faster. If that's you, head to speaktofreedom.com. If not, I will see you in the next video.